Hey everybody, it's Joe from greenlightsound.com, and today we've got a look at a new plugin from process.audio, Decibel, which has several different metering options in a user customizable and resizable interface. And one of the really cool things about this is that it also has a companion iOS and Android app that allows you to mirror the meter display, keeping your metering always on a separate display as you use your main display for other tools, normal DAW tools. So iPad, iPhone, Android devices all kind of lined up. You can have multiple different meters going on different separate devices, all kind of in real time. It can be done through Wi-Fi or through USB. It's very cool to have that up. So the plugin version that you see right here should be inserted on your master or mix bus as the last plugin, or there's actually a separate standalone app that you can use to analyze other audio sources on your system, which is great for comparing your mix or master to levels in other sources like streaming services or other commercial releases. To connect to another device, I'd go to the bottom left, click on Manage Displays. Your app will have an IP address in it. We just type it in. We can rename whatever the device is, and there we go. We can add another one if we'd like, name it something different, add the IP address on that device, and it connects as easily as that. You can also drag and drop files into the interface for a high-speed, no real-time analysis, but a high-speed analysis that'll give you all the dynamics readouts that you need. So going through some of the controls here, we've got presets in the top left, and the presets are basically different metering layouts. So we have full decibel, just LUFS metering here. This is a histogram. We could jump down to some mid-side metering, have single meters. So if you want just the phase scope, there it is right there, and that could be on a separate display. But we'll go back to the default preset full metering. You've got a LUFS control bar right up here, and you have some different options for analyzing loudness. The four here, two of which are plug-in only. The first one that's default is continuous, and that's LUFS recording starts from 0 in your recording until you stop it. If you were to choose system, the LUFS recording is according to your computer clock. The last two are plug-in only, not standalone versions. Elapsed is LUFS recording resets and starts recording again every time you push play in your DAW, and the timecode 1 is synced to your DAW's timeline. So we'll leave it in continuous here. In the calibration section in the top bar, we have different calibration for the VU meter and the LUFS metering. So we can set that 0 VU to whatever amount we want to kind of line up with the sweet spot on our converters. Or if you're putting it on an individual channel, it's going to be a little bit lower for that, and you can set that as you'd like. A bunch of different skins here, so I can just slide this and see all the different color options we have. And you can kind of match the mood of your studio. We'll jump back to blue decibel. Also down in the bottom left are the tabs that we have. So this is the main tab. I can just add another tab, and this is like a blank canvas where we can add whatever metering we want. Just left click, say we want a LUFS meter, we put it in there, choose where we'd like it, resize it as we'd like, click for another meter, do a histogram, stick it right above there. Let's say we want a VU meter, put that in there, put our VU meter, put it in there, make it as big as we like. Of course, we can mirror this display to a separate device. So you can have a bunch of tabs open, all mirroring on different external devices. So I'm going to jump back to the main tab and go over the actual meters you have included in here. The first one here is the super meter, kind of the main meter you see in the default view. That shows loudness, dynamics, and peaks with LUFS, True Dynamics, and True Peak Max. The outer arc here, that's short-term measurements, and the inner arc here is integrated loudness. You can see your LUFS target and your True Peak Max target that go through both arcs here, and that can of course be changed in the calibration and set to whatever you'd like. Immediately to the right of that, we've got our LUFS meter, which shows momentary LUFS, which is 400 milliseconds, short term, which is 3 seconds, and our integrated reading. We don't have a histogram up here, so I'll go to the other tab. This is our histogram. It's a really good way for showing loudness over time, especially you're comparing like verse to chorus. The digital meter on the top left here is like a typical channel meter in your DAW. This is RMS level, like a DAW channel. You've got a spectrum analyzer here, which is pretty self-explanatory. I'll play some audio so you can see what it looks like. Going back to our other tab, I'll add a new number box. You can basically make this whatever you want. So it'll display whatever reading you'd like, and you can just pick right up here what LUFS, True Dynamic, Digital, LRI reading, whatever it is. And it'll be displayed for you in that number box. We've got our VU meters here. This is kind of the modern VU meter look. You can change the skin to a vintage style VU meter or a destroyed VU meter. We'll stick with our modern VU meter. And again, we can calibrate 0 VU on the meter to whatever dBFS we'd like. And the calibration is given right down here. We've got a phase scope on the bottom left, which shows correlation between your left and right channels. You want it in the positive side of things for good phase coherency. Our left-right balance and our output display here. What's happening in the mid and side signals. And you've got an alert meter here, which lets you know if you hit your LUFS, your loudness range, and your true peak max targets. It's failing right now because I have it set to -14 and we're not there. But if I hit that level, this would turn green. You get a little check mark saying you hit it. So there it is, Decibel, a new metering tool from process.audio. One of the coolest things about this plugin by far is that ability to mirror to other displays. So you don't have to have this on your screen at all times. We can minimize that, look at our DAW session, and not have to have it a bunch of screen size taken up by metering. It's on a separate device. That's a really nice way of handling metering. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so we can keep you in the loop as to what's coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.